All right. Hey people, it's Steel Gamer, and this is basically the final Diablo 2 Resurrected video that I'll be going over, which connects all of the smaller videos I did together with this one. And this one also applies, it pretty much has the information in it that can be applied to all the rest of them. So, that being said, I am going to be swearing at this because this is something that's really gone off the rails to the point where people have no idea what end is up. So I'm going to straighten all this crap out now. Now, is this going to change anything? Absolutely not. And I'll get into a few things about this that people need to just shut up on. So, that being said, if you have kids and don't like swearing, get out of here. And as usual, as I say, if anybody has anything to say to me about this, you can contact me on my Discord right there. I'm not joining your Discord. There's no reason to send a link or send an invite. You can add me direct as a friend and directly call me. You got something to say about that? Then you talk to me. Otherwise, that's it. So that being said, let me get right into this. And this video is going to cover several things that clear up a bunch of bullshit that these fucking streamers are saying. It's literally leaked into the game to the point where people have become so fucking stupid listening to these assholes. Okay, I am going to lay into the streamers now because this is on them. So I'm going to clear up I'm going to use one statement here at the very beginning, and throughout this video, I'm going to keep referencing it. So, things that can't be tested is anything on the server. You absolutely cannot test any of that. And because people get fucking stupid and say, well, there's data, there's testing, we did things, fuck off. Let me explain why you can't test anything online. I'm going to say, this is the example I'm going to use that I'll be referring to. This piece of paper represents the server. I'm going to use this piece of paper to represent the server. You don't know what's written on this piece of paper because you can't see it and I didn't open it and show you. So unless I show you, I open this paper and show you what is written on here, telling me what's on here, you can fuck off. You don't know what's on here, and that's why I'm using this as an example. This is the server. There's information on it nobody can see because the only people that have this information is the Blizzard development team on all of these games. You don't have access to the server data. So trying to say you tested something while you're online is a fucking moronic statement that you cannot do. Now, despite me doing that, people will still try to use offline data to say they tested online. How? You can't see the data. Now, in order for you to say anything that you tested is a fact, you have to confirm what you have the data and match it to what you can't see. If this paper is never opened up and showing you, then you have nothing to say that this is the same data written down as this. Now, another thing that people do with this argument or this statement is they try to dictate, well, you can't prove it's not. You're right. I can't prove it's not. But guess what? The argument isn't about whether it's right or wrong. The argument is you can't confirm your data is the same as written on this because you can't see this. This is about you not being able to confirm anything, not whether you are right or wrong. Your data very well could be written on this. Then you could match this. The fact that you can't see this is the only thing that matters. So unless you can confirm this, which nobody can, then you cannot fucking state your testing was done and it's a fact. Period. Shut the fuck up with that argument. So let me get into a few things here. Some of these things are far and few in between, but I just want to cover a bunch of things that people have actually tried arguing in the game. Now, the main reason why this is a factor is simply because when the game connects online, offline, the game behaves. We're not even arguing about offline. You can test that shit all you want because you have data for the offline. But when a game connects to the server, it behaves differently. And unless you know what the programmers did for stuff that's triggering, affecting what, how things drop, nobody has any clue if the entire drop table has been completely rewritten when the game connects to the server. You don't have that information to say so. The fact that that's a possibility is all I need to shut anybody down on trying to argue. Again, I basically put up a barrier that you cannot get around. Trying to state that you know what's on this paper that you haven't seen because you did some testing online, you can fuck off. You sound retarded. So that being said, let me get into why you need this data. First of all, this bullshit of people saying the drops are better. I'm going to use a minor example here because this seems to be something ongoing. Okay, so there was something in the game where somebody claimed that if they did, the person that hasn't killed Diablo, the quest, if you're in a game where people have completed the quest but you haven't, it'll say you can't complete the quest and it won't let you complete it. So what happens is people have this idea that the person who hasn't completed the quest yet gets better drops on that and everything else, which is not possible to test. So let me first explain why drops are not possible to test. Okay? I don't give a shit what anybody tries to say. Here is the fact on this. Okay, and I can't say what I'm about to say is a fact. You cannot test the drops on server simply because you have no clue if what you're doing is affecting what is dropping. So, for example, the only possible way you can test, there are only two possible ways you can actually test a drop. And both are impossible to do. Online, at least. One, you know in advance what is going to drop, and you know exactly how many items are going to drop and what they are and the stats on all of them. Then, knowing this ahead of time, you can actually adjust the changes to see if those drops would change. The second way, which is also impossible, is for you to be psychic. To know what's to go through, get the drops. Let's say 5 items drop. Now, you undo those drops, you go back to the beginning, now you know what's going to drop, so you change it to see if the drops again would fall are going to be different. You can't undo the drops. You're not psychic, so you have no idea. You can't undo the drops, nor can you know what's going to happen ahead of time, but you also don't know what the fuck is written on this if what you're doing has been any alteration is done in this. So those are 3 separate facts that you cannot get around to argue you did testing. I don't give a shit who's hacking what tables, what mods are done, whatever it is. This is the server. They did it offline. They don't have this information, and neither do you, so fuck off with saying we did testing and all this other shit. That brings me to this bullshit about drop rates, okay? I don't know. There's just so much bullshit with this. It's ridiculous, okay? So, again, since you don't know what's on the server data here, you have no idea what it's programmed to drop, when and where, okay? You have no idea if any of that shit's been altered. So, as far as the best place to drop, no, you fucking don't. And this is why this video connects with all the rest of them. All the rest of the previous ones I did. About people claiming that they know shit. They don't fucking know shit. And on top of that, what I said about Magic Find, I'll even apply this. Magic Find can be completely changed. But again, what I said about Magic Find came from the game developers in the patch notes. You can find all that shit. So that, and they haven't said it's been changed, so I don't know. It very well could be, but I'm only going by what the game developers did. Now, all of the testing that people have done applies offline only. You cannot use that to argue server data unless this is opened up and you say, yeah, my data matches what's on here. Unless you have confirmation for your data from here, you don't know what the fuck you're talking about. It's as simple as that. And again, this isn't an argument about who's right or wrong, because it could be the same. This is about you have no confirmation, and you're trying to dictate something you know is a fact without confirming it and have no way to confirm it. Okay? So, That's really all there is to this. And again, everything about this applies to every previous video I said. Nobody's testing anything. Nobody knows what the frick they're talking about when it comes to where's the best area. Nobody knows about fucking what's doing what or how the game is interacting online. You just fucking don't. That being said, there's really nothing more to talk about this. Steel Gamer signing off. Have a good day or night wherever you are.